What's going on, guys? I'm Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
I'm Kristen, Mother of Dragons from the Nerd Coliseum.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Frankie.
And I'm Angela.
And we just got done. We actually located here, guys, on a new setup here by the Nerds Coliseum podcast. What a great setup you guys got here. First time ever recording here. Kind of winged a little bit, but hey, it came out great, man.
Hey, you can't see all the duct tape, but it's
you can't see all the wires, right? But yeah, no, first episode here, and is this you guys' first episode as well?
Yeah, this is the first time we've actually filmed in this place.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Oh, nice. There you go. Well, there you go. Pop in the cherry.
Pop
Pop in the cherry. All right, guys, let's get right to it. Of course, we are going to recap a little bit, not go too much into depth on it, but recap as well the last two episodes, which was Regent, episode 5, and Small Folk, episode 6. First and foremost, of course, we are going to talk about as well the red sewing of this episode 7, which I cannot believe there's only one more episode left.
I know.
One more. I'm pissed, but it's like the next episode better be an hour and a half. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say that a lot this episode, but yeah, let's get right to it. Trey, I guess we'll start off with you. What did you think of the last two episodes, man?
The last two episodes, so I guess to start with Small Folk, which was the 2 episodes before this, will lead up into it. I think what was really nice is we got to see how powerful the commoners are, but also like what's going on in the commoners' life.
Yeah.
So that was a neat aspect to intertwine those two. You get to see the royalty and the commoners sort of like indirectly influence each other, which was nice. Now this episode has some great dragon effects, but also dragon actions.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Agree with you.
There were some great dragons. There's been a lot of great dragons. Really,
Yeah.
I really love that they're putting the budget into these dragons because that's what
Yeah.
the show is. The original Game of Thrones, yeah, it had the dragons in it, but that wasn't the real pushing point of the story. Where in House of the Dragons, especially with this battle, this war going on, this is the main point: is who controls all the dragons.
Yeah.
So they're definitely taking their time telling the story, which I really appreciate because if you've read the books, it's actually very quick because it's read like a history book, like I've said. But now they're really taking their time. We get to see how things developed. I mean, even in the last episode, we took some time to just spend some time with the Queen Regent as she just kind of wanders through the woods and goes into a lake, and it was just it was beautiful.
Yeah.
But it was just, this is another one of those moments where you can tell that they're really taking their time to tell a good story, and it's paying off.
Yeah, they're letting all the characters develop and everything. One of the things I did appreciate as well with Small Folk was that it really is the main, right? It's the main title of the last episode, but also at the same time, it kind of really emphasizes a lot of the Small Folk take a huge part in this. Granted, there's times where like Game of Thrones series where you don't really think too much of the Small Folk until I want to say like season 5 or something. Whenever the more Small Folk come in with the what was it, the religion, that the cult religion,
Yeah, the sparrows.
The sparrows, yeah, that came in, and you kind of see the Small Folk. We got nothing to lose, so we're gonna risk it all. And so you really touch base on this one, obviously years later or years before, and you kind of really see like, oh smokes, like they really matter in this kingdom. They really matter a lot. But yeah, no, I really did like the Small Folk episode. I also did love the food throwing at Allison. That was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is your kids doing. This is your kids' kingdom, and yeah. But I'll leave it at that. But yeah, what else did y'all guys think of the?
Well, yeah. So I mean, just genius move on Queen Rhaenyra's. Sorry, rip Queen Rhaenys. Rhaenyra's plan to send food to the people, knowing that they're suffering. I thought that was genius.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to see that, and people just, the Small Folk were literally, you saw them beating the hell out of each other to get this food and resources. So you see how desperate they are, and I think that is going to be a really big part of the last episode of this season. That you're going to see the people come to Rhaenyra's side, unlike with Daenerys in Game of Thrones, where she just kind of went haywire on everybody and started killing everybody. We're going to see, hopefully, a little bit more of people turning to Rhaenyra's side, and Rhaenyra trying to do what she can for her people, because that's what she's doing this for.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Yeah, most definitely. And Angela, what did you think of the last 2 episodes?
I was kind of interested to see where the direction was going to go, because we had just come off the heels of like a really big tragic scene.
I know.
I can't. Yeah, it's hard to rewatch that. But I will say I really did, enjoy the fact that we got a little bit of a break to be able to digest what we had saw, and sorry.
No, keep talking.
Mic check.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, but yeah, and it was a great jump start into, okay, now the tides are turning, like you say, people are going to come to Rhaenyra's side now, so I really liked how it continued into this episode.
Yeah, definitely, and we're going to see so much more. I've been very excited. I think this next episode is going to be another really, really big part of the book, so no spoilers, but it's going to be intense. And we're going to see a lot of dragon on dragon stuff. And we're going to see a lot of dragon on dragon fighting. Calm down.
Yeah. I wasn't going to say.
Wow.
And we're going to see a lot more deaths of some main characters.
I think that's a criticism you could give is for this is because we do want to see more action. And this season has given us one really, really good episode of action. I think it's definitely a game of chess where you're seeing all these pieces move into place, but I have seen some articles popping up, people saying we would like to see more action in the House of Dragon, and I thought this episode too. I was if we don't get some strong ending of some kind, I was starting to start leaning towards these articles that are we need more action. It's a little slow because I have disagreed with that in the past. I think all of the slow storytelling has been meaningful and has led us in the right direction. But at the same time, I was let's do something.
Yeah, well, that's what made Game of Thrones good to begin with, is it wasn't just about action. It was about storytelling and character development and the politics and the scheming and stuff like that. So we're getting to see that. But
a lot in here, and even with Rhaenyra, the food thing you already mentioned, feeding the common folk and the kingdom, Aegon, they didn't care too much about the common folk. They were just, they're as long as they're well fed, as long as their stomachs are full, in a way, and that was a very great political move for Rhaenyra. I feel
So let's do some sports desk predictions. What do you think we're gonna see going into the finals? They've recruited some new people, drafted a new play line. Now we can see new people. On the
it's a whole new team of people. All right, straight out of college. We have not seen these people tested before. Brand new dragon riders. It's
right
rookie
off the
year.
Streets.
Rookie year for 2 new players on the team. And I really don't know. I can't say of how it's going to go. I hope they listen to their coach. I hope they practice hard and they got a successful career in front of them.
What do you guys think is going to happen in the finale?
Okay, so they got 2 new dragon riders, and I don't want any of them to die yet, but Kristen.
Well, put yourselves in the shoes of Rhaenyra right now. What do you think her next play is? Do you think she's gonna go
trap?
And
She needs to trap. She needs to trap him.
I think she's gonna storm King's Landing.
Storm King's Landing. Okay.
I believe that, but at the same time, though, I really believe that she's gonna trap. We did see a small little trap there, and how it's almost like he's losing control of his dragon, Aegon, in a way, and
that thing's old as shit.
And so no, it's all right, but
he's listen to him. When he killed his brother last season.
Yeah, so it's definitely a curious moment to where is Max putting that intentionally in there because maybe something's gonna happen where he can't control him. And maybe it goes into the end of his days or to his demise or to his death and everything. But it's very interesting now. Rhaenyra and the lizard dragons and everything. They got a bunch of them now. They got they got mini me's. They got all different sizes now, and it's definitely interesting. In this episode, I don't know if you all agree with it. I'm kind of on the fence. I know we talked about it, or we were saying it during the episode, and we're gonna talk about spoilers, of course. Was the fact that I don't have a problem with common people being dragon riders. Of course, the bar guy, I forget his name, but I was just I don't think he deserves it. It was definitely different approach versus the
Especially
other.
when he steps on a dragon egg and still win over the dragon.
Yeah, that was very weird.
That's how you know how strong the bloodline really is.
I guess so.
I guess. He wasn't lying. At first I was he's BSing and bullshit. I did not believe him one bit. And obviously the dragon knows best, so he must have been Targaryen all along this whole time. But yeah, no, I'm definitely interested to see exactly what's going to unravel here. Knowing that he took Rhaenyra's side, though, that's really good. Another surprising moment was that he took Aegon by surprise, and knowing that that's really cool, and I feel like that they should have executed a little bit more. Like that was a smart play, but at the same time, I'm all like, damn. So he's really like, it takes him a while to get on that dragon. So they could really do. There's really an opening there to where like they could. He's very vulnerable, and I like that. And
remember that Vhagar is still very much damaged from the battle with Melees and Queen Rain with Rhaenys.
People right now saying that's the best episode this season, and it really is so far, right? I mean, until we get another drag, it's almost guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed we're gonna get a dragon fight next episode, and knowing that Sir Criston, there you go. I'm sorry, Sir Criston, that he's actually going to war, but he knows. I mean, he said in the last we got into the glimpse of the next episode, he knows he's going to his death and everything. We see that a lot. Even more so in this episode, so or in the sneak peek for next week. So I'm kind of interested to see if they're gonna have like archers of some kind of special ops or something like that, like special weapons strictly to take out dragons, or are they just gonna watch like they did last time, and he already knows he's going to his death, and he just doesn't like. I don't want to say he doesn't care, but he's definitely already knows his demise in that front.
Definitely. I think everyone kind of realizes that this is the war for the dragons, and we're just little pieces that hopefully survive till the end, kind of thing.
And I'm excited to see exactly Daemon as well. Knowing that he finally really got the Riverlands together, got the houses together, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what army he raises, because I feel like we're gonna see that army finally, because it took a whole season for him to get an army. It took a whole season and a witch to really like get an army, and I feel like that can't be all for nothing. I cannot wait to see him fucking fight and fuck up some dragons. I can't wait to see his dragon really come in, because I miss his dragon. His dragons, we saw like 3 times this season, twice maybe. Like, it's really been not that much. We've seen Matt Smith a lot, but even though he lied to us saying,
I know,
"Oh no,
not gonna be in the season that much."
maybe he was mentioning, maybe he meant to say was that like my character wasn't going to be as significant as
maybe
development.
He didn't even realize. Maybe all those shots that he did took like a week to do, so he thought it would only be in like one episode.
Well,
so
I mean, it could be that, or it could be the fact that maybe maybe they were editing, and because there's a lot of times where the editing room takes out a lot. There was a sex scene with Sir Criston and Alicent that they took out, I think, episode 3 or something.
Oh darn!
And
we really needed
we had
more
seen
of
enough
those.
of that.
Yeah,
but it was weird. It was like, I don't know, something to do with animal. It just wasn't relevant. It wasn't relevant. Let's see that to the story. And Alicent was like, "Why didn't y'all put it in there?" The actress, and she was just like, "It kind of explains what kind of people they are, and like very cruel, or into an empty. It's like kind of
it makes them look disgusting."
Yeah. And so like that's what, and I get it. Stay true to the characters that they believe that they are, and I love that. I really do. But at the same time, though, I'm kind of like, I don't think we needed that. And you still hate him as much. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. And then Alicent, I mean, you mentioned that river that lake or river she did.
Yeah.
I feel like that. We talked about. Is it like a purity, or is it like almost like a baptism, to where like I'm cleansing myself of my sins in a way?
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like that kind of was like,
vibe,
yeah.
And maybe after she gets out of there, maybe she just like goes at peace with it. She's gonna finally do the right thing. And I don't know. You never know. I mean, anything can happen in Game of Thrones. So I mean, anything can happen. So maybe she attacks somebody, or maybe she you never know. Anything's possible here. But
do you think that the dragon that's like kind of in the wild from the Vale, do you think that'll appear next episode?
I don't know. I don't know if they will save that for next season, because their pacing of the show in correlation with the books is very strange. Like, it's very drawn out, and they're obviously putting a lot more, which is great. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think possibly, especially since in the last episode we saw her running off to try to find Sheep Stealer is what they call him.
Does she have a dragon?
Name. But she's got a
dragon,
small one.
Yeah, she's got a dragon though, right?
I don't know if hers fly. Can't remember if hers flies yet or not. I really don't.
So I'm kind of curious. Yeah, maybe she rides that one. Maybe or like. Yeah.
I feel like I remember somebody else getting him, and he being just untamable black beauty wild horse, kind of thing. But I don't remember.
They don't mention how big he is, right?
He's probably the size of like Rhaenys dragon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Rhaenys or Rhaenyra is one of the two.
Oh, okay.
They're both pretty kind of the same. But yeah, I remember Sheep Stealer being a really big part of the book, but I honestly don't remember much about him. So it'll be interesting to see if he comes into play here.
I mean, I think at least we'll see him.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, definitely interested there, and yeah, but let's go to ratings. What did y'all think of this episode? Trey?
Rhaenyra. Queen Rhaenyra, yeah.
Oh, like what I think about Team Black when what's going on?
No, or what do you think? What's their overall review? Or I'm sorry, overall score of this episode?
Ratings.
Ratings.
Yeah,
I got
bad.
you.
Yeah,
I
no,
heard
you're good.
Rhaenys.
I did too.
I was like, which character is that?
My bad.
No, I would say a rating. I would say a strong 8 out of 10 this episode.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do 8.2 out of 10.
8.2.
8.2.
Points. The points.
The point system. We're doing the point system here. Yeah. There you go, Angela.
I give it a solid 8. I think it's pretty
Okay.
solid. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8. There was a lot of really interesting action scenes. There was a lot of interesting build-up, like everything going on. I think also just Queen Rhaenyra's performance.
Yeah.
This episode was really good. Like
She killed it. That first scene.
You can tell that she really believes in what she's doing, and that she believes that she's doing it for her people,
Mm-hmm.
and she's gonna stand up for the little guy, you know. But also interesting that this whole thing with the bastards is coming up, because I'm interested to see if after the House of the Dragons, with the Dance of the Dragons, they do the Blackfire Rebellion, which is like the rebellion of the Targaryen bastards. So maybe this is kind of leading into that in the future.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was really not the Battle of the Bastards, because that's Game of Thrones. That episode that was fantastic. But yeah,
it's
it's like
the army of the bastards.
the gathering of the bastards, the burnt of the bastards. You know, extra crispy, please. The dragon. Oh man, it's too soon. But yeah, no, it was definitely interesting though how Rhaenyra just left him there. I thought that was very interesting. I was like, holy crap, like what the hell? But then did you notice though, whenever one of the guys, I forgot, man, I'm bad with names. One of the guys' names, whenever the commoner, which with the family man who did lose his daughter, passed away and everything, which we didn't see that on camera. That was an off-camera deal. But knowing that, like whenever she sees him, I don't know if you noticed, she had like a tear on her she was tearing up because knowing that it took all this death. Like I feel like that even though she knew she had to do it, she still has that conscience. She still has that emotional grasp on just like, these are just people like me, you know, and then we're not gods, you know. I think even King Viserys even said it, like, what are Targaryens without dragons? Yeah. And I love that. That's really great, and it's so true. And you know, we're at an age where, you know, there's quite a bit of dragons there, but there's, you know, like they finally found riders and everything. But I'm kind of interested to see as well, also like those dragon caretakers, I guess, or however you want to say. I forgot what their name's called.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah, Valyrian dragon monks.
Yeah,
I don't know what you want to call them.
Yeah, so the council and them, they were like, you can't give these to common folk. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're bastards, but I mean, they're still Targaryen. Like, it's still Targaryen blood in them. So, but I mean, whether they're bastards or not, that's kind of the fault of the guy who impregnated the
bloodline's still the same.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it's just without marriage or without, you know, and so
without the raising up to be that way. You know?
Yeah, and then we in the very first part of this episode, which is the ending of the first episode, opening of this one, which I really did love that, and then we get to see the Valyrian. I actually thought it was gonna go another way, but knowing that he bent the knee really quickly, and I was like, holy smokes, that's so cool. And then he's Lord Clois's son, another bastard. It's just like, man, what is going on here? Everyone's pretty much a bastard now. It's like, yeah, but I mean, that's not to say that they're less of a man, but it's just really weird how it's so frowned upon in Westeros. But then when you go to the Dothraki and all them, it's like on the other side, it's kind of like everyone's there's nothing bad about being a bastard. So you got to see that a little bit.
Yeah, in Essos, it's not really about royalty; it's more about hierarchy.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's a little like
it's interesting,
in terms of like businessmen and things like that.
Yeah,
slave owners.
and you get to see that a lot. And you get to see, you know, you kind of compare it from like when we learned from Game of Thrones versus now and everything. Because Dany had to and really go through all those trials and everything that she had to go through with the slavery and everything. But yeah, no, going back to this, I'm excited to see what else is unraveling here and. Next episode, I'm just saying, an hour and 20 minutes. Okay, I'll shrink down 10 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, because they're not filming this to the end of the year, dude. We're gonna have to wait 2 more years for this.
It's gonna be forever before we see the third part.
Do y'all think 1 more season or 2 more seasons?
I honestly don't see how they do it for more than 1 more season.
Okay.
They'd have to really stretch some stuff out, and
I don't think it's
Yeah,
There's
it's like,
not much story left.
It's a balance, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do like. I don't know. I haven't
like-
read the books like you do, but I do get a sense from what you're saying, like how they are sort of trying to fill the gaps in what was left, which is nice to see. But I mean, if we can get it done in 1 more season, yeah. If not, then 4 seasons is not bad. I mean, it doesn't seem like HBO is really milking it too much.
No.
Yeah, it's a fine line, because you don't want it to be too rushed like Game of Thrones was, but you also don't want it to be too stretched out because
It's
then
tough.
people lose interest.
It's tough. It's
So
definitely tough.
You have to find that balance. But I feel like 1 more season, and then honestly, like I said, there is still way more of the Targaryen story that they can tell, all the way up to the birth of Daenerys. So
We talked about that, yeah.
they can definitely do more.
I want Mad King. I really do. I want a series of the Mad King.
I want to see Aegon the Conqueror, which is
That
the
would be
original.
really
Yeah,
that's what I
that'll
want to
be
see more than
cool.
anything. I'd love to see Henry Cavill play Aegon the Conqueror.
I feel like, yeah. But I feel like that they could have done that before this, because that's way before. I kind of feel like
this is like when the Targaryens first came to Westeros.
yeah. So like I don't know if they would. I don't know. I just don't see them kind of
I mean,
touching up on that, because then it's like, oh, we're going further back.
I think
You know
they're
what I'm saying?
going to keep going wherever they want, because there's like another prequel series they've got, or another spinoff they've got in the works right
Well,
now.
they canceled.
they
the Jon
canceled-
Snow
yeah,
one,
Jon Snow
which
got
I'm
canceled.
Not upset about.
Yeah.
Well, it's a different one.
But now there's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember them saying that there is like 4 other books that he's done about different people at different times. So maybe he's gonna do.
We can verify that.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't.
have to
It's
look
not
at
the
it,
it's
but-
not the Jon Snow, but it's another one that they were talking about doing.
Well, anything they do in the Song of Ice and Fire Game of Thrones universe, I am totally on board with, because I love the universe. I love the history.
Oh, it's
of it, so.
Game of Thrones spinoffs is Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, is it going to be about? Oh gosh, I forgot his name. There was
Takes
a book
place
about
after
him.
the events of House of the Dragon and just 90 years before Game of Thrones. The first season will adapt the first novel, 1998's The Hedge Knight, and the consistent of 6 episodes.
I forgot his name. He has a dumb name.
Oh, it's going to have 6 episodes only.
Brock. Or
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess they know what it is. Like they want it just to tell.
That was a very short
a very
story,
specific
yeah.
story.
Oh, well,
that's good.
I mean,
so
yeah,
th're not
yeah.
milking it.
So
but they're
then
like
it should
telling
be,
us, which is nice.
Yeah, it should be like a limited series, like Obi-Wan was, like a limited series.
Yeah, and I would like them
Yeah.
to see. I would like to see them get a little brave and do things that don't have source material, like which I think is what the Jon Snow series was supposed to be, is to go beyond the source material.
Yeah.
But and going beyond the source material is fine if you take your time and tell the story right, which
Yeah.
is what Game of Thrones did with what D&B or whatever their names was.
Mm-hmm.
What it did wrong is when they got off the source material, they were trying to rush through it and give the audience what they want with big action sequences instead of just taking their time and telling a damn good story. So I would like to see somebody get brave enough to do an original story in the Game of Thrones universe.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to see if they do that. I don't know. I kind of feel like they're playing it safe because they don't want fans divided as they were at the game in the last season.
Well, as long as they don't do what Star Wars is doing, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
there's my one-time dig at Acolyte again.
Yeah.
Snuck it in there.
But all right, guys. So you know what to do, guys. Like, share, subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page, and don't forget to follow the Nerds Coliseum podcast as well. You guys should be launching some few episodes in a few.
Oh yeah, we got our setup, so we're going to be getting back in the game and going back through where our next upcoming kind of focus between Doctor Who and also going through some of the best 100 movies of all time and doing retro reviews of some of the older movies.
Nice.
Just forced Frankie to
that.
watch.
Yeah, just. Go ahead.
Just forced Frankie to watch Clockwork Orange. So like these really old movies that we can actually look at from a more modern lens and see if they still hold up.
Cinema classics for sure. So yeah, we're still pumping out our movie reviews and movie news as we come to learn it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to that as well.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Like, share, subscribe. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call me Ryan680.
And I'm Frankie.
And I'm Kristen.
This is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. See you at the movies. Latest.